them when they win. I criticize them when they're messing up in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it, because I have an audience to answer to. These players, I don't get paid to talk to.
LeBron James is now under serious investigation, and the entire sports world is in shock. FBI agents have raided his homes in Los Angeles and Ohio, revealing that this case goes way beyond basketball. The operation, called Operation Nothing But Bet, has taken over headlines everywhere. What began as a quiet probe into insider betting within the NBA has exploded into one of the biggest scandals the league has ever faced. Investigators are tracking suspicious money transfers, secret messages, and leaked medical data, and every trail seems to point toward the man once believed to be untouchable.
Individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years. The FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for...
The first major crack in the story came when LeBron's close friend and former teammate Damon Jones got indicted. And that changed everything. Court filings revealed that Jones had been secretly selling inside injury info before big Lakers games, including one against the Bucks in February 2023 and another versus the Thunder in January 2024. In one text, prosecutors say Jones told someone to get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight. Just hours later, LeBron mysteriously sat out that very game with an ankle issue, and the Bucks won easily. What seemed like a clear-cut case against Jones suddenly turned massive when agents started showing up at LeBron's homes. FBI teams reportedly seized phones, computers, and financial files, searching for connections between Jones's betting ring and a top player's money network. That player being LeBron himself. Officials haven't charged him yet, but fans are already asking if he's really just a witness.
First indictment involves 6 defendants. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams.
The scandal exploded when LeBron's longtime friend and ex-teammate Damon Jones got indicted. That's when things got real. Court records show Jones was selling inside injury details before major Lakers matchups, like the Bucks game in February 2023 and the Thunder clash in January 2024. Prosecutors even revealed a text where Jones told a contact to get a big bet on Milwaukee tonight. Hours later, LeBron sat out that same game with an ankle issue, and the Bucks rolled to victory. What looked like a simple case against Jones suddenly got deeper when federal agents turned their focus toward LeBron. FBI teams reportedly raided his LA and Ohio homes, grabbing devices and financial files while looking for any link between Jones's betting ring and a star player's account, that player being LeBron. No charges yet, but the whispers say he might be more than just a bystander.
More breaking news this morning. 2 big names in the NBA among more than 30 people arrested in connection with federal investigation into sports betting and illegal gambling.
The real twist in this saga comes from the FBI's latest findings. The NBA insists LeBron had no clue about Jones's betting. Sources even told The Athletic that their bond was purely personal. But as the investigation deepened, something changed. Federal files revealed agents weren't just tracking Jones anymore, they were digging into his communications with LeBron himself. That's when a new name popped up on the warrant, LeBron James. And everyone's asking the same question, why seize files from his homes if he's only a witness? The warrants even mentioned coordination of privileged information, a term rarely used unless conspiracy's on the table. What's more shocking? The key Bucks game happened just 2 days after LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring record. He sat out right after the celebration, the very night Jones allegedly sold his betting tip. Even if it wasn't intentional, the timing looks way too suspicious.
Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra, to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese.
You can't overlook the timing of all this. The NBA is already fighting a massive integrity crisis, with federal charges hitting big names like Chauncey Billups and Miami's Terry Rozier under the same operation, Nothing But Bet. But now all eyes are locked on LeBron. When footage surfaced showing FBI vehicles outside his Brentwood mansion, the internet went wild. Some said it was just fallout from Jones's mess, but legal experts weren't buying it. The FBI doesn't raid a witness's house unless there's more to uncover. LeBron's camp stayed quiet, saying only that they were fully cooperating, which many insiders read as code for negotiations still happening. Sources claim agents took encrypted tablets and other devices linked to his team, possibly containing schedules and flight logs dating back to 2022, right when Jones started shadowing the Lakers. Now, whispers say the betting probe might be just the surface. Investigators are reportedly mapping links between Jones, Hollywood figures, and LeBron's extended network.
Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
When asked why agents circled back, one analyst said it plain: operation. Nothing But Bet isn't just about gambling, it's tied to possible money laundering across sports and entertainment. With sponsorships, events, and charity funds mixing, there's plenty of space for shady transfers. If any trail leads to Jones or his crew, the fallout could be huge. Out in public, LeBron's been acting normal, seen courtside in LA wearing a floral cardigan and smiling, but insiders say the pressure is crushing him. He's canceled interviews, limited travel, and gone quiet while the Lakers wait for answers. For now, one of the game's biggest legends is stuck right in the middle of a federal storm.
Same kind of extortion that we heard when Cassie took the stand and testified on that airplane ride back from France. Diddy said, "You don't do a Freakoff, I'm going to release one of the Freakoff videos that you are profiled in and humiliate."
And just as the world demands answers about the money, the bets, and those secret messages, investigators have shifted their focus to something far darker. They're now digging into LeBron's private ties with a man already behind bars for running infamous Freakoff gatherings. That's where everything takes a chilling twist. The investigation, the rumors, the entire narrative. And that's exactly where this story continues.
That he has, with others, and just because no one else has been charged, which normally in a RICO case you would have others charged, it was a statute designed to get mob bosses, trying to get at criminal behavior that's like a web of criminal behavior that you can't necessarily prove, like the one thing or the statute of limitations expired on the other thing, but you're just showing this bad guy who's operating what's clearly an enterprise that over and over engages in criminal problems.
When the FBI searched LeBron's properties, it wasn't just about gambling. Agents were mapping his social circle, and the trail suddenly led into the entertainment world. What began as a betting probe now touched celebrity events, secret finances, and exclusive guest lists. One powerful music mogul, recently sentenced to over 4 years in prison for illicit dealings, had already seen his empire collapse. And now, one of basketball's biggest stars was quietly being linked to that same dark world. Almost overnight, an old video resurfaced. LeBron laughing beside a famous music mogul on Instagram Live saying, "Ain't no party like his party." It seemed harmless back then, but now it's being replayed like evidence. Viewers slowed every frame, analyzing his tone and expressions, wondering if there was more behind that line. LeBron hasn't been accused of any crimes, but insiders say his name came up in talks about guests at those now infamous private gatherings, events described in federal testimony as far darker than the glamorous image once shown online. LeBron's legal team won't speak, and the Lakers stay quiet. But that silence only adds fuel. Just as agents raided his homes, prosecutors expanded Operation Nothing But Bet, pulling in financial data linked to the music mogul's business network. Internal notes mentioning cross-referenced ledgers suggest some of the same middlemen may have handled both Jones's betting money and those entertainment payments. That's when investigators noticed the overlap between cash and guest lists. Behind the curtain, publicists are scrambling and sponsors freezing deals. 2 major brands already hit pause. Now, NBA insiders aren't asking about Jones anymore. They're asking what LeBron really knew about those private parties. Whispers are now spreading from people once tied to the music mogul's inner circle. A former event promoter claims LeBron's name appeared in private guest coordination messages dating back to 2018, though those files haven't been made public. Another insider says FBI analysts found contact logs on seized phones from the mogul's security staff mentioning top athletes. None of it's confirmed, but online sleuths are treating it like open evidence, connecting screenshots and messages into wild theories. Sources say several texts recovered from the raid at LeBron's mansion are now under review for ties to secret events in LA and Miami, some even containing encrypted chats linked to the mogul's management team. Whether those talks were business or something more personal isn't clear, but in this climate, even silence sounds suspicious.
For them when they win, I criticize them when they're messing up, in an effort to make sure that you don't do it again. I'm not wishing anybody to fail, but I have to call it how I see it, because I have an audience to answer to. These players, I don't get paid to talk.
LeBron's known for fierce loyalty. He never forgets the people who rose with him from Akron to fame. That loyalty built a tight crew that's followed him through every city, tied by old favors and deep trust. But investigators now see that loyalty as a risk. Sources say some of his longtime friends with no team roles often showed up at practices or traveled with the Lakers, blurring the line between personal and professional life. Sources say blurred boundaries around LeBron became routine. When staff questioned who was allowed in restricted areas, the answer was always the same. If LeBron wanted them there, they stayed. It fit his image as the loyal, self-made star who never forgot his roots. But now, with Operation Nothing But Bet unfolding, investigators are studying that loyalty itself, asking whether his trust in old friends like Damon Jones or certain entertainment contacts opened doors for private info to slip outside team walls. Former teammates say he'd been quietly warned for years about the company he kept, especially those with messy money ties. LeBron listened but rarely acted, because for him, loyalty wasn't a choice, it was a code. And that code may have blinded him to those who used his trust for their own gain.
Now for some of the biggest trending stories you'll want to know today. Sports legend. People call him the GOAT. LeBron James taking an excused absence from the basketball season. This, as resurfaced video, is being examined in a...
Psychologists say fame at LeBron's level blurs the line between friendship and dependence. The same people who protect him also expose him. Experts note that under nonstop pressure, stars often build tight circles where criticism fades and loyalty rules. In that world, trust is everything, until it cracks. The FBI's focus on his communication log shows how fragile that inner circle may have become. Investigators believe loyalty could be the missing link tying together the betting ring, entertainment money, and the social ties that pulled him closer to the mogul's world. To those close to the case, it's not just about greed. It's about a man whose devotion to his circle kept him from setting limits. That loyalty, magnified by fame, might be the very reason agents are now digging through his most private file.
Father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great director, great producer, great host, great basketball player, great leader. I mean, my God, I have done everything but put diapers and a bib on this brother. But it ain't enough, because one thing matters to him and one thing only, and that's him being recognized as the greatest of all times. Well, you're not. In my book.
The story has shifted from sports to secrecy. For years, LeBron James was seen as the model of control, disciplined, focused, untouchable. Now that image is cracking. Analysts say his recent withdrawal from big charity events signals intense damage control. One LAPR expert put it bluntly, when a brand as spotless as LeBron's goes quiet, it's because the lawyers are talking now. Conspiracy chatter is exploding online. Theories linking Operation Nothing But Bet and the music mogul's case through hidden accounts, shell companies, and fundraisers disguised as luxury parties. Investigators haven't confirmed a thing, but every unsealed file adds new fuel. Fans compare flight logs, photos, and dates, pointing out moments LeBron was in the same cities tied to those events. Through it all, he stays silent. No press, no posts, nothing. What once looked like calm now feels calculated, and every unanswered question only makes the noise louder. For years, LeBron James built an empire on perfection. Every move calculated, every image controlled. From endorsements and activism to movies and family branding, he crafted the blueprint for modern fame. But now that empire is shaking under federal subpoenas and dark whispers from the fallen entertainment circle once tied to him. Was this loyalty taken too far, or the start of a cover-up ready to explode? The truth hasn't surfaced yet, but when it does, it could rewrite what fame really means. What do you think really happened behind the scenes here? Do you believe LeBron's silence means strategy or something he's hiding? Drop your thoughts down below. I want to hear your take on this wild story. Thanks for sticking with us and watching Ball Stories. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more untold stories from the world of fame and hoops. See you next time.